I know you have some amazing goals and things that you hope to accomplish in this season. Recently, I shared how we can recognize barriers and plan to overcome them so they don't trip us up, so that those things that we really want to happen do happen this summer. My name is Kate Wood. I am an integrative health and wellness coach. I love helping women overcome overwhelm, reduce their stress so that they can reach their goals, they can feel more comfortable in their own bodies, and just live full out. So I hope you enjoy this snippet from Summer Reclaimed. Let's identify those barriers and make sure that they do not trip you up this year. I don't know about you. I know we have different personalities. Some people are great at starting things. That's me. I need more motivation and help and accountability to finish it all the way and tie a bow around it. Other people get a little bit frozen with even starting. So we're all kind of different. I find this a lot with clients. Boundaries are an issue. I often hear things like my schedule gets hijacked. There's no time for me. I'm so busy. My calendar is attacking me. All these types of things that we say. So I don't want you to let your schedule get overrun this year. I don't know why sometimes we think that our time doesn't matter as much as other people's, but I think your time is important. You don't need to say yes to everything. And I know some of us, it's painful and uncomfortable and might even make us nervous to say no. I'm going to ask you maybe to practice saying no to a few low threat things. You don't even have to say the word no. You could say that doesn't work for our family. Thank you so much for thinking of us. It can be great to have like some phrases in your back pocket to pull out if you're not used to saying no. Sometimes we have some self-image issues. You may doubt that you can do it. Who am I to whatever it is that you're deciding to do, right? Who am I to try to parent better? I've messed things up before. Sometimes we sabotage ourselves. I see this all the time when people try to, and in myself too, establish healthy habits, healthy eating, working out. I'm going to do all the things. And then we're like, why am I eating corn chips? And it can be really helpful to have someone outside of you who's trained in mindset and habits and things like that, a coach who can come alongside you and help you figure out what's a little bit deeper than just like the fact that you went and got the corn chips. Could you decide in the future not to buy corn chips? Yeah, it's hard in a family if you've got other people buying stuff. That could be a surface level solution where you're like, I'm not going to get stuck eating the corn chips at the end of a stressful day. But I just said stressful day. It could be stress. It could be not getting enough self-care during the day. If you find yourself saying, I deserve this because da, 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 it could be that you're not really paying attention to what you actually need. And what you actually need most of the time probably isn't corn chips. It might be more rest. It might be a break from teenagers, arguing, debating with you because they're so much smarter than us. So these types of things, there can be stuff underneath it. It doesn't have to be hard, but a coach can help in this a lot. Sometimes it comes down to our mindset. Sometimes we just get bored. I know this happens to me. I'm like, boy, starting something new sounds more fun than seeing this decluttering project all the way through. I get it. Hopefully we can make this more fun and more rewarding so that you want to finish. Sometimes we get overwhelmed. If you want, you can write out action steps. If that's too overwhelming, do what we just did. Write out your next two logical steps. Sometimes we're like, I have to know how to do the whole thing. Well, I want you to be aware of the end result you're going for. But if you don't have every bit of information, every bit of resources in place already, it's probably okay. I believe the Lord will provide. He provides people, information, money, provision. Perfectionism is a stinker. I can't decide if overwhelm or perfectionism keeps people more stuck. That can keep you frozen real good, right? Sometimes people just aren't natural planners or they don't like to do it. They like to feel like they have more flexibility and spontaneity. And sometimes they're just like, I don't know what the next step should be. I think when we sit down and really think about it, often we can figure it out, or we could talk to somebody that knows. Usually there is some sort of small step that we can take. Just procrastinate. Oh, I'll do it later. Sometimes we get a little rebellious. We're like, I feel kind of annoyed that I have to do all this tough parenting stuff and clean. And so I'm going to procrastinate on that decluttering project and I'm going to watch TV. It might feel good in the moment, kind of like, like you're playing hooky. But then eventually, as a project doesn't get done and it's affecting other areas of our lives, we're not actually winning that war, are we? It's like a temporary battle, like, haha, But I want you to have other areas of life where you feel like you have freedom and choice and you don't have to be so responsible all the time. That's where we can kind of channel that type of energy into maybe something that's more helpful to you. All right. So, overcoming those barriers we just talked about, I want you to guard your schedule like a bulldog. I want you to act like you are Elon Musk. I don't know who's all the people that like don't have any time because they're so important. That's you, baby. You're important too. You don't have to say yes to everything. I want you to have plenty of time to do all those things that are super important to you. So, contributing muffins to the bake sale and baking all day, if that's important to you, go for it, make a way. But if not, you're not going to like this. Go buy some store-bought muffins or just say, I'm not able to participate this year. And when you say no, it doesn't mean that it wasn't a good thing, that that person was a jerk for asking you. It just means that it doesn't fit right now. And I think that's okay. Not that we're being selfish. I think, again, we're just setting priorities. Self-image stuff, getting to the root of that self-doubt. What am I really believing about myself? That I'm incapable, that I'm not smart, that I always mess up. There can be a lot of things under there that once we pull those out, man, massive freedom can come. And that's my favorite. Combating self-sabotage with things like amazing habits that make you feel powerful, that make you feel confident are great. One thing I see people do is if they're trying to pull out a negative habit, they don't replace it with anything. And so it's very hard, like nature abhors a vacuum, right? So if I take out the corn chips and there's nothing to replace it, like for my little snackies, I'm going to really want those corn chips and I'm probably going to find myself buying them. So here's an idea. And you don't have to replace it with food. It could be like, I know that I reach for corn chips when I've had a frustrating day. I felt like I didn't get enough time to myself or self-care. I was just running around doing stuff for everybody else. So I want the corn chips. It's a cheap way to feel like I'm taking care of myself. So what I could say is, you know what? I also actually really like walking. So I'm going to make a little deal with myself. You don't have to get rid of corn chips all the way. You're like, Kate, I didn't realize when I signed up for this, it was going to be so much about corn chips. But here we go. I'd say I'm going to take a walk up to the stop sign and back, probably takes 7 minutes. And then when I get back, if I still want corn chips, then I'm going to let myself have a serving of it. I'm not going to go bonkers and go keep getting refills, but I'm going to try to fill my cup in a different way that might work really nicely and gives me benefit. And then if I still want the corn chips, I can have some corn chips. And then we put action into things, it does give us confidence. We need to get started. If we're just sitting there in our head, like, can I do this? Can I do this? I don't know. Of course you don't want to start, and you're going to start to second guess yourself. Just take your first step, see how you feel. Boredom, I don't know if anybody else gets bored like me. As much as you can infuse fun, having your kids come with you, or if it's cleaning and you hate cleaning, maybe you call up your best buddy and be like, hey, when are you cleaning on Saturday? Okay, let's do it together and we're just going to chat and clean like crazy. I like to listen to podcasts or music, books on tape. It's not tape, is it? It's called audiobooks now for you current people. Books on phonograph. What? So make it fun. I know, like, it sounds silly, but like if I put on my whatever I'm listening to, I don't mind the cleaning as much. It goes so much faster. And then we talked about perfectionism. And this is, again, something you may need to tackle with a coach. Because if you have been this way for a long time, we carry a lot of patterns and thoughts and behaviors from even when we were like kiddos. Learning that you're allowed to make some mistakes, not that you're seeking them out. You're making the best decisions that you can. You're acting in good faith, but it's never always going to work out. You're able to change course if it doesn't go well. You tried something, you made a choice, and you realize this isn't quite what we wanted, then we change course. It's okay. Sometimes we're so willing to like attach failure. Oh, that was a failure. I was so stupid. Maybe it just wasn't the right fit. We can be so mean to ourselves. Sometimes we can do things good enough. I don't know if you do this, like you want it to look just so. I am a master overcomplicator, so I'm really trying to break myself of this habit. I'm like, oh, I can imagine all these bells and whistles. And sometimes that works against me. I don't know if anybody else can relate. Skills and planning, decision-making skills. And that is something you can absolutely learn if you're a decision avoider. Start with small stuff. Like if your spouse asks you, where do you want to go to eat? Just choose something, even if you don't actually care. Just pick it. Timers. If you know me, you know I'm big on timers. You can use them a couple different ways. They work great with kids. I find it works just as well with me. Like I kind of mentioned before, me saying to a project in my brain, I'm going to give you 15 minutes. I'm not just going to like leave that to chance. I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes and then I am allowed to stop at that point. If you can make it so the task fits in there and you haven't created a big mess that you then have to clean up, that's great. Or you consider the cleanup time within your time frame so that you don't want to be going around your house making giant messes, right? I've done this before with like stuff I don't like with dishes or folding laundry. I don't have the best attitude about that and maybe something I need to work on, but I will set a timer. I go faster and I stay focused. I don't like wander off shiny object. I'm like, no, I got a timer going. I'm going to finish this. And then, so normally I work faster. And then I'm almost always amazed that those things I don't like to do take much shorter than what I actually think. In my brain, it takes a half hour to take care of all the laundry or clean a bathroom even. I'm like, no, that took 10 minutes. So then the next time when I'm thinking about cleaning the bathroom, I'm like, that bathroom only takes 10 minutes, Kate. And I can talk myself into it more. I play little mind games, little tricks like I would with the kid because I know my brain is sometimes no more mature than my kids. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do my chores. I just want to eat corn chips. Watch TV. So I hope that helped you big time. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. And if you have questions about how I work with clients, both one-on-one or in groups, you can go to katewoodcoaching.com. I'll see you next time.